The Salt Path scandal couple Raynor and Moth Winn were taken in by a millionaire benefactor who let them live in his farmhouse after he was moved by her powerful book, only to fall out after they got to know each other better, locals say. Best-selling writer Raynor and her supposedly terminally ill husband have been engulfed in scandal after it emerged a number of key details in her memoir were apparently misreported. Among these was the suggestion that the couple's original walk on the Cornish path that was so popular with readers was prompted when they inadvertently became homeless. But the Observer this week claimed they lost their home as an indirect consequence of Raynor misappropriating tens of thousands of pounds from an employer. She was said to have embezzled 64,000 pounds from a former employer, which led to her being arrested, before borrowing money from a relative to avoid prosecution, only losing her Welsh farmhouse home when this was not paid back. Winn yesterday admitted she has deep regret over mistakes she made that led to the embezzlement allegations, but denied that the financial dispute had any relation to the story told in the Salt Path. In a bombshell statement, Winn claimed the bad investment with a lifetime friend that prompted the couple to lose their home related to an entirely separate legal case. She described the accusations against her as grotesquely unfair and said she had been left devastated by claims her husband's illness was fabricated. The couple were also alleged to have been disingenuous about being homeless, as they owned a property in France, where they had previously regularly stayed. Now, Mail Online has learned that among their fans, on the back of the huge success of her memoir, was multimillionaire investment banker turned cider maker Bill Cole. Mr. Cole is understood to have been so moved by their story that even though he had never met them, he got in touch and he invited them to live in an historic farmhouse that he owns in the countryside near Lostwithiel in Cornwall. Mr. Cole, a former partner with Frankton Capital, who now describes himself as farmer, pirate, and impact investor, is understood to have approached the couple after being moved reading the first volume of her hit book series. The couple were living at his property and said they were helping with the cider production when they hosted TV chef and fellow famous Cornwall resident Rick Stein and showed him how they make cider in the traditional way for a BBC program first broadcast in March 2023. Mr. Cole, who was at the farmhouse property this week, declined to discuss the couple, real names Sally and Tim Walker, saying, "Please leave, I'm the farmer here, I've got stuff to do." But a source told Mail Online that they understood the relationship between the Winns and Mr. Cole had deteriorated after they moved in. Bill was initially very taken with Raynor, and it seemed like a perfect setup. But then there was some trouble between them, and we understand it all ended badly with them falling out, the insider said. In an interview with Country Living magazine published last month, Raynor Winn is believed to have discussed Mr. Cole's generosity publicly. She said, "When a stranger contacted me on Twitter with an incredible gesture, I wasn't sure how to respond. He owned a disused farm nestled in the Cornish hills and asked if Moth and I would like to live there. We agonized for months over the decision. It was yet another risk to give up our home and to trust a stranger. But we decided to do it." She continued, "When we arrived, the land felt abused and polluted, but we've been hard at work removing plastic sheeting, nourishing the soil, and bringing wildlife back to the hedgerows. It's become a big rewilding project, and it's worked. A year ago, there were no birds here. Now there are woodpeckers, yellowhammers, and blackcaps. It's amazing how quickly nature bounces back if you let it. Like humans, really. I like to think we're rewilding her gravely ill husband, Moth, as well as the land. By putting him back into his natural state, moving out in the fields all day, his health has improved almost miraculously, just as it did when we were walking the coast path. As the landscape has become healthier, so has he. Nothing will cure his disease, but we've found a way to keep it at bay." The publication of this article last month gave the impression the couple's involvement on the cider farm is ongoing. However, locals have seemingly questioned this and claim the Winns have not been seen around the area for some time. It's unclear how long the lag was between the interview and its publication. When Mail Online visited this week, the pretty farmhouse did not appear to be inhabited. The windows were thick with dust. From the front door, it was clear. Barely any furniture was left in the house, and just a few apparently abandoned items of clothing and kitchen appliances were scattered on the floor. Neighbors in the nearby hamlet of St. Veep, who knew the couple by their professional pseudonyms, Raynor and Moth Winn, rather than their real names, claimed they had been seen regularly in the area for some time, but have not been around for some time.